Hi all, welcome to Exam Shala. In this video, we are going to see some important news and editorials of 2nd March 2021. In the previous video of the 1st March, we discussed a detailed analysis of science and technology, international affairs. In this video, our basically focus on three important things. That is the vaccination that is being rolled out. Recently, आपने देखा होगा PM Modi has started the vaccination process above the 50 levels and those patients having the prerequisite or pre-heptomatic conditions. Now, so this video will occur three phases. First, we will be covering of the vaccination drive and its problem related to the privatization of the vaccination. Second important article is about the NGT, the National Green Tribunal, and its role in the country and how it is not proving that much effective with the aim of establishing the kind of environmental impact in the country. And then later on we'll cover some important news that the new chief appointed by the WTO, World Trade Organizations. Along with that, some political international news about Nicolas Sarkozy. So let's get started. But before we start, kindly do subscribe our channel on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Telegram. So let's get started. Now the first article says about public health, not private profit. That is, it is kind of a skeptical. ये गवर्नमेंट की एक पॉलिसी पे कटाक्ष कर रहा है कि पब्लिक हेल्थ शुड बी द प्रायोरिटी ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. गवर्नमेंट की प्रायोरिटी पब्लिक हेल्थ होनी चाहिए, ना कि प्राइवेट सेक्टर्स का प्रॉफिट. और ये क्यों कह रहे हैं ऐसा? क्योंकि रिसेंटली जो सेकंड ड्राइव है, फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर्स को वैक्सीनेशन कराने के बाद जो गवर्नमेंट ने प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स को भी इंक्लूड किया है वैक्सीनेशन देने के प्रोसेस में, तो उससे क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आ सकती हैं, कैसे जो सोसाइटल डिस्पैरिटी है, इंडियन सोसाइटी में जो डिस्पैरिटी है बेसिकली ऑन द क्लास ऑफ इकोनॉमी एंड द इकोनॉमिक क्लासेस, हाउ इट कैन एक्सप्लॉइट द कंडीशंस ऑफ वैक्सीनेशन, that will the author is more concerned about, and we'll see what are her points and how it is also suggesting some solutions कि किस तरह से solution होने चाहिए ताकि वैक्सीनेशन जो है, जो यूनिवर्सल ड्राइव है पूरी कंट्री में, that vaccine to all should be easily and quietly available. So let's see. प्राइवेटाइजेशन वैक्सीनेशन, तो सिंगल डे रोल आउट. सीन जब से वैक्सीनेशन का प्रोसेस स्टार्ट हुआ है इंडिया में, only till now 1 crore people, that is mostly of the frontline workers, are only getting the vaccination, and this place is very slow in comparison to what it was destined to. जैसा सोचा गया था उतना फास्ट ये प्रोसेस नहीं हो रहा है, ये स्लो हो रहा है. इसके पीछे क्या कारण है? तो पीपल आर स्केप्टिकल अबाउट द वैक्सीनेशंस. इज इट गोइंग टू बी इफेक्टिव? Is it going to be harmful? Even though various of the accusations and various of the doubts have been cleared by the home ministers, the health ministers, even various scientific experts, the doctors, AIMS chief, but still the people are skeptical about it, and that is why the rate or the pace of vaccination is slow, and mostly those workers or those people who are indulged or who are included in the frontline services are only being vaccinated, and that's so in very slow pace. So due to this, government was under severe criticism. And why it was under severe criticism? Because it said that our public health infrastructure, that is the infrastructure to provide vaccination देने की जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है हमारे पास, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स हो या गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज हो, उनकी एक लिमिटेशंस है. वो हर जगह पे उनका ओवर रीच नहीं है, एंड दे हैव रीच टू अ सैचुरेशन पॉइंट. दैट इज द पॉइंट एट विच द मैक्सिमम आउटपुट दे कैन गिव. उससे ज़्यादा अब वो काम नहीं कर सकते. हमारे भारत जैसे बड़े देश में जहाँ 130 करोड़ के लोग रहते हैं, उन सबको वैक्सीनेट कराने के लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्राइवेट सेक्टर काम नहीं आ सकते. इसलिए हमने सिर्फ और सिर्फ पब्लिक सेक्टर काम नहीं आ सकते, इसलिए हमने प्राइवेट सेक्टर को भी इसमें इंक्लूड किया है इस क्रिटिसिज्म के बाद कि आपकी जो वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव है बहुत स्लो है. नाउ by this, the government has prompted a kind of a price of 550 rupees per dose per vaccine. That is, if you see the 2 vaccine you have to take it, and it is normally going to cost 1200 to 1100 rupees per person for getting vaccinated, and this is going to create a rift between those people who can afford it. Most of the people who can afford it, but the people who are living the rural areas, the daily wage workers, okay, the migrant laborers, they are not able to get it, and they will not be able to get it because since it has been privatized, the people who are capable of getting it will take it, will hoard it, will store it, and will sometimes overuse it. But those people who are actually needy, जिनको इसकी ज़रूरत है, they will not be able to get it because of the same process, because it has been privatized. And since the moment has been privatized, the moment the vaccination drive is being privatized, it is going to be kind of creating a disparity. This is what the author is trying to convey in her message. Okay. Also, the government has proposed 35,000 crore rupee in the budgetary allocation for the vaccination of all the purpose. and also they promised to increase the fund in order to increase the vaccination drive. वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव को बढ़ाने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने 35,000 करोड़ रुपए का एक फंड एलोकेट किया था. अगर आपने 35,000 करोड़ रुपए का फंड एलोकेट किया हुआ है तो आप वैक्सीनेशन को प्राइस क्यों कर रहे हैं? वाई आर यू प्राइवेटाइजिंग इट एंड वाई आर यू चार्जिंग फॉर द वैक्सीन? दिस इज बीइंग आस्क्ड बाय द ऑथर इन दिस पर्टिकुलर एडिटोरियल. Now, why vaccination is critical? Because it needs to be catered in the public health measure. It should be universal. Nobody should be left out. But what is happening is, due to the economic disparity in the society, the privatization will lead to its invariable distribution, and that is going to hamper the very basic idea of universal coverage. Even if a single person is being left out, those virus or those viral diseases which have a contagious kind of nature, they spread in a contagious manner, will not be successful. Even if single section of society or if a single person has been left out, it is again been threatened to come back and come back in a different and mutated versions. So this is the concern of author, and we will see why are the monetary concerns. Now, concerns against pricing. Now we see that all this vaccine are getting the emergency kind of, हर वैक्सीन्स को इमरजेंसी में यूज़ करने का जब प्रोसीजर मिला है तो उसको प्राइवेटाइज करके आप मार्केट में कैसे ला सकते हैं? दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड बाय द author or the editor of this video, that if it is getting only emergency use certificate or if it is being approved for emergency use, how can you privatize it and how can you make it more viable in the case of market relative culture? But there are also some good steps that has been uploaded by the writer, and it is that government is also increasing the kind of vaccination centers by including more and more private hospital inside the PM JAY scheme, that is PM Jan Arogya Yojana scheme and Ayushman Bharat scheme. That is good because it is being covered under the government insurance scheme up to 5 lakh rupees, and that will be beneficial in the mostly remote areas, in the rural areas of various underdeveloped states, mostly in the eastern and the northern states of the India. But we need to do more, and we need to include more and more private hospitals in these schemes, not by making vaccination in a privately manner so that the people who can afford it will get it and those people who are not able to get it will not get it, and that will completely hamper the basic idea of universal distribution and universal stoppage of this pandemic. Now, what are the necessary steps to be taken? So most important step to be taken is to regulating and monitoring. We should be very vigilantly monitoring and regulating the flow of vaccines. Okay, the number of people are getting it. Recently we have seen the kind of a false data and the data manipulation happened in Bihar during the testing cases. The private parties were giving the kind of testing rights and they were manipulating data. Single person with a single mobile number has been tested 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day, and the fund was diverted, and that is why the cheating happened. Since the case is being happening on, but these kinds of case should not happen, and that is why the author is suggesting to be more vigilant, regulated and monitored approach of the vaccination, as well as the drive to transfer this vaccine from one place to another place, from one center to another center. And that is why to check the black marketing as well as hoarding, so that there will be no chaos in the society. All the BPL card holders or the ration card holders or the economically weaker section of the society should be the priority, and even that those persons with more ages, those persons are left out persons, elderly ages in this section should also be prioritized to be vaccinated, and that should be the basic idea of a welfare state. A welfare state should not work on the maximization of the profit, rather it should work on the welfare of its people. This is what the author is suggesting in this complete article. Okay, now we'll move to the next article. The stories of women. Recently हमने डिस्कस किया था प्रिया रमानी एंड एमजे अकबर का केस. बहुत बार ये न्यूज़ में आ रहा है एंड किस कंप्लीट आर्टिकल इज कमिंग. बट व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर आवर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, दैट इज एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, वी विल अंडरस्टैंड द बैकग्राउंड. दिस बैकग्राउंड इज Priya Ramani was a kind of a co-worker in MJ Akbar's when he was an editorial or editor of a news agency, and she accused him of a physical assault at a workplace. Now, what are these workplace and why the court accepted her case and rejected the plea of MJ Akbar, that is defamation case, and what were the matters and what grounds in which the court accepted the case, that we will listen. Court accepted the case of Priya Ramani on the grounds of right to get heard. Okay, even MJ Akbar has the right to defend his dignity. The other person, especially when who confirms itself to be a victim, he has or she has all the right to be heard, because at that 20 years ago there was no Vishakha guidelines, there was no She Walks kind of a movement, there was no Me Too movement, there was no strong social media was as strong as it is now. Okay, so these are the points that have been included or that's been concerned by the concerned court in order to accept the plea of Priya Ramani against the MJ Akbar case. Now we'll see what is Vishakha guidelines. Now that is very important points and related to the subject of harassment of women at the workplace, and you can write in the ethics paper also, in essays and in some general studies paper also. So we'll see what are these Vishakha guidelines. Vishakha guidelines are basically guidelines that has been ordered by the Supreme Court in 1997 in the case Vishakha versus Rajasthan government, and there are three key obligations to it. First obligation is the prohibition, second is prevention, and third is reduction. That means पहले तो आप रोकेंगे, उसके बाद you will take preventive measures, and second is अगर ये होता है, if such kind of things happens, then what are its redressal, how it could be redressed. So redressal mechanism should also be there. So three key obligations are there in the Vishakha guidelines that were underlined by the Supreme Court in 1997. Also, institutions will have to establish an internal complaint committee that was named as ICC. So in order, if an institution is employing more women workers and men workers, if a desired amount of number is more, then it is to be covered by internal complaint committee. Third thing is, it is also legally binding. Now, these Vishakha guidelines are legally binding, and those institutions which are employing selective cases or selective numbers of women as well as male employees, they need to follow these guidelines strictly, and their non-compliance will lead to penalty and penalization as well. So these are the important points in the Vishakha guideline that can be used in essays related to the women issues, women empowerment, even in the ethics paper. Okay, you can utilize the facts in whatever way you need to mold your answer and to mold your point of argument in your course. The most important point is, it was basically empowered. Basically, this doctrine, kind of Vishakha doctrine, was basically introduced to enlarge the scope of sexual harassment cases. And these guidelines are only used afterwards to more and more comprehensive manner that led to the passing of new act, and that was named of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention and Prohibition Act 2003. So these are the backgrounds, and this background is important for our exam point of perspective. The rest editorial can be understood in the previous videos also. Now we will move to the next topic. It is basically discussing about the efficiency of National Green Tribunal. So why it was established, what were its objective, and is it fulfilling the objective? That is we are going to see. So India became the third country after Australia and New Zealand to establish a separate dedicated environmental tribunal, which was the basic objective of this was to expeditiously dispose cases pertaining to the environmental protections. ऐसे केसेस जो पर्यावरण सुरक्षा से जुड़े हुए थे, उन केसेस का बहुत ही वैचारिक रूप से और बहुत ही तेज़ी से डिस्पोज करने की जो ऑब्जेक्टिव थी, दैट वाज गिवन टू द नेशनल ग्रीन ट्राइब्यूनल. बट is it following its objective? Is it being that efficient the way it was thought to be? We'll see how. It is a kind of a quasi-judicial body. What is a quasi-judicial body? So it has had not complete power of a judiciary, but it has both administrative as well as judicial powers, and that is it's called the quasi-judicial body. This quasi-judicial terms is also being used in the process of a parliament when it removes the impeachment process of the Supreme Court as well as President. So it is also called a quasi-judicial power. Similarly, we will see how this judgment, which judgment led to the formation of NGT. So the judgment of Delhi High Court that replaced the National Environmental Appellate. Following a Delhi High Court judgment, a new National Green Tribunal was established, and that was the basic background of establishing a National Green Tribunal, and it has been 10 years of its functioning, and how it is functioning is going on, that we'll see. Shortcomings. What are the shortcomings? The shortcoming is, yes, it is processing a cases of 90% at the rate. So it is taking the 90% of cases which are getting. The processing is good, but the result, the outcomes, most of the cases it is going are not technologically and legally solid. The judgments are not technologically and legally solid, and that is why what happening, they are being overturned. Supreme Court उन्हें overturn कर देता है, तो उनके जो भी decision nature या environment protection के समर्थन में आते हैं उसको कि कौन ओवरकम करता है, that is being overturned by the Supreme Court of India, and the judgment has at all no meaning, and this is why it is hampering the basic idea of environmental degradation and environmental protection. Now it has dismissed the 11 cases recently. Why NGT has been in news? So it has dismissed 11 cases in the recent time. Why? Citing to the clause of timing delay. Now the author is skeptical about that you cannot dismiss a case of environmental protection just because on the clause of timing delay, because in the rural areas or the people from the remote areas who are not so much as professional as the professional lawyers, and they don't have a team of workers working on in a case, they need time. They need time to get resources, they need time to put their voices, they need time to travel, and so just because addressing the clause of timing, you cannot reject a kind of a environmental related case, and that is why he is criticizing the NGT that because he was destined, जो काम उसे करने के लिए दिया गया था, जो objective था, that is objective was to protect the article 21, that is right to life and liberty. Under this article there is a right, the right to live in a healthy environment. एक स्वस्थ environment में रहने का हमारा अधिकार को ये पूरा नहीं कर पा रहा है, तो ये अपनी ऑब्जेक्टिव तो पूरा नहीं कर पा रहा है, और दूसरी तरफ ये ऐसे केसेस को रिजेक्ट भी कर रहा है जस्ट बिकॉज ऑन द कि ये सही टाइम पे आए नहीं हैं, सही टाइम पे केस पूरा नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो इस केसेस को, सिर्फ एनवायरमेंट के केस को टाइमिंग के क्लॉज के हिसाब से रिजेक्ट करना सही नहीं है, नाइदर एथिकल नॉर मोरल. दिस इज बीइंग प्रोपाउंडेड बाय द ऑथर इन दिस video. Now we'll see the next topic. Reading General Bajwa. Now recently we know that the DGMO, that is Director General of Military Operations of the two countries, India and Pakistan, issued a joint statement that they are trying to stop the violations of the LOC and the intra-border firing in order to promote peace and tranquility around the borders. Now the author here is very skeptical about it and is saying कि ये इंडिया की ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा पाकिस्तान की ज़रूरत है. क्यों ज़रूरत है? क्योंकि पाकिस्तान इज़ बीइंग ग्लोबली आइसोलेटेड इन द वर्ल्ड पॉलिटिक्स. नोबडी इज़ लिसनिंग टू हिम. द कश्मीर ट्यून इज़ ओल्ड इनफ. नोबडी इज़ मच इंटरेस्टेड इन द कश्मीर ट्यून. ऑल्सो they are being blacklisted, they are being grey listed and continuously being grey listed for 2 years in the Financial Action Task Force. Their funds are freezed, their economic relations are freezed, their diplomatic relations are freezed. Their economy is going to shatter, and that is why it is more in the interest of Pakistan to promote peace with India rather than Indian interest to promote. But what here the author is suggesting is there is an important clause in the joint statement, and that clause is address each other's core issues. And what are the core issue? The moment we will discuss the core issue, and the core issue lies the border and the Kashmir issue, and the moment it comes into the light of issues, and it will be create a conflict. So whatever peace we are watching in this among the two countries, that will have a divergent impact the moment we will discuss the core issue. And what is the core issue? The core issue is nothing but the LOC and the Kashmir issue. So this peace is temporary. This is simply what the author is saying, and India should be skeptical as well as vigilant about these Pakistan moves, because what we did in the same, we went to Lahore by bus and we got Kargil. We went to Lahore by airport. Prime Minister Modi ji went to Nawaz Sharif and we get Pathankot, Pulwama. So we need to be skeptical of the Pakistani moves, and our army should be vigilant at both the areas, even the eastern side with the Chinese and the western side with the Pakistanis. This is the main motive of this column. Now the important news is a new chief of World Trade Organization headed in Switzerland has been appointed, and she is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She is the first African to be appointed as this chief, and her most priority, and by the coming days, she described her priority in the two important sectors, and that two important sectors are fisheries as well as vaccination. So one liner point of view, it is important for the MCQ point of view in the coming exam of GPSC class 1-2, that who is the new chief of WTO appointed, and so answer will be Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She is from African background. Another important news is French ex-president Nicolas Sarkozy. Now why he is important? Because he was the only one with the UPA government signed the old Rafale deal, and with coming of the Modi government, this deal was kind of revised and it was signed with the another French president Emmanuel Macron, and this deal was revised, and based on this, Indian government or the Modi government, NDA government was alleged to have committed a kind of a corruption in this deal, and that is why it can be asked. So you can quote the examples of that even the French president is being convicted for the corruption. So how can we trust some other countries in case of corruption and defense dealings? So this was for the today's video. Hope you liked it. We'll meet tomorrow the same time. Thank you. Goodbye.